Hello you beautiful souls, welcome here. Today we've got an astrological video, and in this one we are talking about total lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Taurus on the 8th of November 2022 and what it means for all of you depending on your rising sign or sun sign. But with that, a little bit later, I just wanted to talk about eclipses in general first. Eclipses bring fated events, changes into our life that serve our highest good. Sometimes these changes, these shifts come and surprise us. We have no control over them. We completely lose our bearings. We don't know what to do. We feel lost and our emotions are all over the place. And you might be seeing it already because we are in the thick of it. We are in the middle of the eclipse season, and people might be behaving in very bizarre, strange ways. Everybody feel like exposed nerve, I would even say. That's totally normal because our lives are changing and we might feel lost and not seeing the way forward. This eclipse in particular that's happening in 2 days on the 8th of November is going to bring illumination because it's the full moon eclipse. It's going to bring clarity. It's going to bring this breakthrough for many of us, especially considering that it involves Uranus, the planet of insights, the planet of clarity, the planet of spontaneity, rebellion, again the planet of changes, breaking away from something, moving forward, the planet of the future. But I also wanted to say that eclipses are like doors, like portals for us. And usually these are the portals where people are given to us, new people are entering our life, and some people might be taken away from us. It also depends on what's happening in your sky, in your chart, but it's very, very common for somebody, for example, you in a relationship that's not serving you, comes an eclipse and you part ways with that person. Also, for example, it's a very common thing I see. A couple has been trying to conceive, to have children. It's not working out. There are difficulties. Comes an eclipse season, they fall pregnant. It literally feels like a door through which souls can enter into our life, into our environment, our energetic field, and souls can leave us. For example, elderly who has been very sick for quite some time, they might cross over, they might pass on during the eclipse season, also very common. And also I have to emphasize that eclipses have very particular thing about them because they involve Rahu and Ketu, south node and north node, and these are the points of the past and the future, of something leaving us and something coming towards us. If you make any changes during this eclipse season, if you're trying to get rid of something in your life, first of all, if you do this during this eclipse period, let's say from the 20th of October till the 20th of November this year, whatever it is that you break away from, for example, leaving a relationship, leaving a job, leaving a certain country, changing your life in a big way, you will not be able to go back to this. You will not be able to restore it, to mend it. Whatever leaves our life during this period leaves our life for good usually. And whatever enters our life, new people, new exciting events, opportunities, new shifts, new places, they come for good, to stay at least for the next 9 years, and sometimes even for 18, 19 years into the future. So I would advise you to think twice if you want to break up with somebody during this period. Think twice if you treasure this relationship, if you treasure that person or that job or that family member, or because Uranus also brings this energy of breaking away, freedom. I'm done with this. I must know, I'm an Aquarius rising, I'm ruled by Uranus, it's totally my planet. I know the energy of it all too well. It's easy for me to run away, to break free, to just, I love my freedom, and if something doesn't align with it, doesn't align with me, I'm gone with the wind. And sometimes I regret those moments. It's like, I should have thought twice. My Cancer sun is like, you should have thought longer. And yeah, rebellious energy of the Uranus is going to be very present during this time for all of us. Of course, depending on your sky, on your chart, and what it touches. This eclipse is taking place on 16th degree of Taurus. So if you have any placements, any planets around this degree, for example, your sun is on the 15th or even 14th degree of Taurus, very important time for you, and the year ahead will be very important, especially if it's your birthday that is taking place. Maybe you're Scorpio and your birthday is around 5th or 8th, exact on the day of eclipse. It's going to be a year. The year ahead, your next solar return year, will be the one that will change your life completely. You will remember this year. So yeah, is there anything I wanted to say? The sign of Taurus is the sign of stability, the sign of our roots, the sign of our family. It's our finances, our security, the sense of foundation in life, everything that is meant to last, everything that we usually hold on to. And when this eclipse comes, it's coming with Uranus, the planet of breaking away, the planet of fast, sudden changes, unexpected changes. We might not even have enough time to react well, to make weighted, is it how you say it? I think so, like very thought through decisions, and we'll have to act fast. So yeah, be prepared. And changes in our stability, our security in life, that's, I feel, something that this eclipse will bring, for sure. This eclipse will affect Taurus very strongly, Scorpio people very strongly, Sun or rising sign, Aquarius people, all of the fixed signs really, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio and Taurus, because it's either squaring you or it's happening on your axis of signs. So I think that's that. Let's go to each of the 12 signs and see what this eclipse will bring you. Starting with the first sign, Aries, let's see what this eclipse in Taurus on the 8th of November will bring you. This eclipse is taking place in your second house of finance, of stability, of security, of your value in life, of the way you earn your money and how you budget money and how you save money. And the ruler of this eclipse, well, not the ruler, the planet that is involved in this eclipse is Uranus. And Uranus rules your 11th house of friends, like-minded people, of future hopes, dreams, associations, and wishes overall. What can we say about this eclipse for you, Aries? I feel like in the future, or it might be already happening for some of you, you will be experiencing changes in regards to your finances. And these changes will be quite unexpected. And they might involve your friends. For example, you've been struggling with money, you didn't have much, there was the stale period, maybe you felt like your job wasn't satisfying you or you had to rely on somebody, and you've been dreaming of becoming independent, being able to earn your own money, to accumulate more money. And then your friend comes around and says, listen, I've got this idea. Do you want to work with me? Do you want to pursue this project, this business? Do you need money for the startup? It's not necessarily that it's a friend, it could be somebody that's somebody that you are connected to by, I feel like it's a group of people that you associate yourself with. Could be, I don't know, the classes you're going to, and then you meet somebody who is on the same wavelength as you are, and they see that you're struggling and they want to help you with something. Could be a friend that gives you an idea how to earn money, and you have this eureka moment and it really works out for you in some way, and then you start implementing it in your life and your money improves. This could also be working online, because Uranus carries this energy of social media, of internet, so you could be starting in the next 6 months earning money through internet, through maybe you make your website and you start selling your services or products there and earn money online. There is a lot of independence, I feel, the period of independence you will enter because of the previous eclipse that we had in your 8th house, which was happening with the South Node, which is the planet of letting go. So many of you let go of the dependency on other people, other people's money and resources, and now you're coming into your financial independence and self-sufficiency and feeling like you can stand on your own 2 feet. Finally, you don't depend on anybody, and I feel like you're getting closer somehow to reaching your goal, your wish, your dream for the future. And it's somehow connected to your money, to your stability, financial stability in life. Because the 8th house is the house of our wishes, dreams and hopes for the future. And I feel that aspect of your life will align with your money, with your finances. And it feels like doing something new, something that you haven't been doing before. Budgeting, spending and saving in a different way, completely different from what you've been doing so far. Again, especially for those of you who have been dependent on somebody in your life, a spouse, a parent, have been working jobs like 9 to 5 and you had a boss to answer to, you had salary, didn't have much say about how much you're going to get, in the sense that you will be more independent in the future with this eclipse. You might start working for yourself, become your own boss and be totally in control of how much money you get, how much income you've got. So very interesting eclipse. And remember that whatever is happening right now is happening for your highest good. Even if things are messy, confusing, unexpected, and you get worried, maybe there are big expenses that you need to go through. This eclipse eventually will bring you stability, independence and financial security in the future, because it's happening in the sign of Taurus and in your 2nd house. So don't worry too much. You're on the right path. Eclipses take us where we are supposed to be. So thank you very much, Aries. Now we are going to Taurus. My beautiful Taurus people, sun or rising sign, this eclipse is taking place in your first house of your identity, of your whole life. This eclipse will literally change your whole life, I feel, in a big way. The first house represents you and how you approach your life, how you live your life, the role you're playing. And the Uranus that is involved in this eclipse is the ruler of your 10th house. What's happening? There could be big changes in your career and your reputation, in your status, that will affect your whole life in a big way. For example, you might get a raise, you might get promoted, you can find a new job. And again, with Uranus being involved, it might happen very fast, very unexpectedly. New information comes in, somebody calls you and says, do you want to take on this job? And you feel, especially being a Taurus rising, you might be quite slow to catch up and you don't like changes, and stability is something you're very comfortable in. You might be hesitant to this, and it's a good idea to say yes. If some changes come towards you that are in regards to your job, your career, your reputation, your future overall, your 10th house is something we are striving towards, and Uranus rules your 10th house, your goal in life. For example, I want to be a doctor, but it hasn't been happening so far. I've been working as a clerk, for example, somewhere, and then finally I get this opportunity to go study to become a doctor, or I can take these courses, or whatever it is. Your life can be changed during the next 6 months in a big way. The trajectory of your life overall, because this is your first house. Also, I feel for many Taurus people, you might change your appearance, because the first house and the 10th house are both the houses of our visible look, of our, of course, also energy that we give off, but also the physical energy, how other people see us, society overall, how they remember us, how we stand out from the crowd. And many of you will are very likely to change the way you look drastically. With Uranus, you might start looking a bit eccentric. You might change your hair, like in a big way. You used to wear long hair, now you're completely bald. This is an extreme example, but for some of you I feel it might resonate. Yeah, maybe you need to start looking different for your job, again because of that connection with the 10th house. Maybe you take on a formal job and now you need to wear suits, you need to wear some formal attire, you need to be more groomed, something like that. Or you're becoming, for example, a model and you need to lose weight. These are just examples. They don't have to resonate with everybody, but there's something about changing how people envision you, how they see you, how they perceive you. Changing in a big way, fast, very fast and very unexpectedly with you guys. So I think this is all I have for you, Taurus people. Please don't be worried. Eclipses take us where we are supposed to be. They align us with our path. Whatever happens, you might feel scared, confused because of the Uranus effect. You might feel like everything is happening too fast and your life is changing and you cannot kind of feel disoriented. Don't worry. Take on any change that comes your way, any offer, any opportunity, because you're headed towards your true destiny. So this is all I have for you, Taurus. Thank you for being here. Now we are going to Gemini. My beautiful Gemini people, this eclipse in Taurus is taking place in your 12th house, which is the house of isolation, the house of creativity, the house of spirituality, the house of hermitude, I would say, the house of our intuition and did I say creativity? I think I did already. And this eclipse involves Uranus, which is the ruler of your 9th house. For you guys, for many of you, the first picture I have in my mind is gateway for many of you, Gemini, because the 12th house where this eclipse is taking place is the house of faraway lands, of moving away, of distancing yourself from your normal environment, which would be the 4th house, almost hiding away. Plus the Uranus that is involved in this eclipse is the ruler of your 9th house, which is also the sign of foreign things, of travel, of exploration, of religions, of beliefs, of things that we need to get adjusted to, something new, something unusual to us. So many of you, I feel many of the Gemini rising and Sun people might travel during the next 6 months. It could be a travel like a vacation or traveling for fun. For others it could be relocation. This is something I feel very strongly. And it also feels like a relocation, not to a different town, not to a different state, might be to a whole other country, other continent for many of you. Or at least the next 6 months to a year, your life will be full of traveling, of like going on retreats, for example, very much 12th house energy, going on yoga retreat or silent meditation retreat. How is it called in Indian? I don't remember. Just very strange experiences that are not about material world, that are not about society, that are not about your achievements in the world. It's for me, it's for my soul. This is what I want to do. I just want to escape and go my own way, whether it's go to another country, whether it's go to spirituality, heavily into spirituality and religion, because both of these houses rule. 12th house is spirituality, 9th house is religion, is our beliefs, is exploration, is devotion, it's gurus, teachers, spiritual practices. Very strong theme of all of that. And literally, why am I having this picture of somebody going like to Costa Rica to go on yoga retreat or Buddhism camp or something like that? And it might happen all of a sudden, like you're living your life, everything is all the same, everything is fine and stable, and then you get a call from a friend or 9th house. 9th house would be like a teacher, maybe a professor from your university or something like that. And they say, hi, do you want to go to that country to study Buddhism, or do you want to go to Thailand, to, I don't know, to explore this country and learn this language or something like that, learn this religion. Very strange, unusual experiences that come out of the blue and allow you to pull away from the material stuff, from this rat race that we all participate in, this matrix, and go explore what you believe in, or literally explore other countries, other places. Yeah, is there anything I want to say for Geminis? Some of you might be graduating, because Uranus is the ruler of your 9th house, which is our education, higher education. When it's involved in this eclipse, the 12th house rules endings, completion. So some of you might be getting your degree, might be finishing some kind of, it's a big education usually, it's not the courses that we take that last for a month or 2 months. It's a big education, like a whole 4 or 5 years, when you get diploma and everything is like final, and yeah, completion of something in regards to your education, that's also possible. Or some projects in regards to other lands, other countries, foreign things could be coming to this completion overall. So this is all I have for you, Gemini. Please don't worry if you get overwhelmed with this eclipse, because I know with Uranus involved it might feel crazy, unusual, like what do you mean I have to pack and we're leaving tomorrow, something like that. You might get a bit scared, frustrated, and you don't have enough time to decide. This eclipse, or any eclipse in general, they take us where we're supposed to be. They align us with our path, and they give us opportunities that work for us eventually in the long run. So go with it, go with the changes, go with the offers that come your way. Trust this flow, especially with the 12th and 9th house. It's all about the flow, it's all about your intuition, it's all about just faith and trust. I trust and I surrender, and I take on any change that comes my way. So this is all I had for you, Geminis. I hope this was helpful, and now we are going to Cancers. Cancer, rising or sun people. This eclipse is happening in your 11th house of friendships, of people that you associate with by choice, like-minded people. This is also the house of your aspirations, hopes and dreams about the future, that final goal, that final picture. And this is actually the house of gains that we get from our career, because it's the second house from the 10th, which is our reputation, career, the field that we are working in. 11th house is what we get from it, final reward. And the planet Uranus that is involved in this configuration, this event, this eclipse, is the ruler of your 8th house. This feels like money to me. This feels like money, big money for many of you Cancers. Why? Because the 8th house is the house of other people's resources. It's the house of taxes, it's the house of debt, it's the house of spouse's money, parents' money, overall money that we receive, inheritance as well. And 11th house also carries the meaning of big gains, big unexpected, like winning a lottery, because it's not your money, it's something you get from government. Also, again, as I said, the 11th house being the second from the 10th, gains from your job, gains from your career, from some kind of big project you've been working on so far in your life. You've been giving all of yourself to, all of your energy, all of your time, all of your resources. Now you finally get that payoff, reward, that compensation. And it's wonderful because it's also happening in the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of money, of abundance, the sign of financial security. I do smell money with you Cancers very strongly. Everything falls together for many of you in regards to your money, and I do feel that it's almost like a fast, unexpected breakthrough, consequence of something that you've been trying to achieve for quite a long time, and now finally you get this monetary compensation. And also, I feel like this eclipse could cause a breakthrough for you in regards to your dream, your final goal, your desire in life, the place you want to reach, that future vision, 11th house. And with Uranus, it might happen like a eureka moment, very unexpected, like this insight that I got, and now I see what needs to be done, and it's like fast, very fast forward movement, like you've been propelled towards your final dream, while in the past you've been almost like dragging everything towards it. Everything has been going so slowly. Whatever that dream is, buying your house, marrying that person, getting pregnant, getting promoted, starting your business. Now with this Uranus eclipse, it's like bam, 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 everything falls together and my life is changed in a big way. And for you Cancers especially, your life is going to be really changed. I have to emphasize it because this eclipse is happening with the moon conjunct Uranus, and the moon is your ruler, you guys. The moon rules your ascendant and your whole sky consequently, because of the chart that you've got. So this year, this eclipse is life-changing for all Cancers. Cancer rising especially, but also Cancer sun people. Total shift, unexpected, radical change in your life, and I feel it's going to be for the better. It will be for the better, because it will bring more stability, more contentment, more happiness with the Taurus energy, and more money for sure, you Cancer people. Wonderful year. Don't be afraid because of the changes that are happening too fast. And being a Cancer, you might get intimidated because you like your comfort zone, you like your stability. Take on whatever offer that comes your way, any opportunity that comes your way. These radical shifts, they are happening for your highest good. Eclipses take you wherever you're supposed to be. Do not resist them. Do not resist anything that comes your way, because eventually you'll be very happy. You will be you will be living that dream that you have in your mind right now. You will be living it in the next 6 months to 12 months, a year, definitely. And you feel much more stable. Wonderful, wonderful energy for Cancer people. This is all ahead for you. I wish you a wonderful eclipse. And now we are going to Leos. Leo people, this eclipse is happening in your 10th house, and it's happening with Uranus, which is the ruler of your 7th house. This feels to me like a change in your status for many of you Leo people, because the 10th house is your reputation. It's your reputation, how other people see you, is the house of your career. This is how the whole society sees you, views you. And this energy, this eclipse, has a connection to your 7th house, which is your partnership, which is your love relationship, possibly your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, your romantic partner. And why am I saying that you might change your status? Many of you might get proposed to, might get married, or meet a person that you'll eventually end up with for the long run. And it might happen very unexpectedly. Whether it's proposal, it might happen out of the blue, or somebody, if you're single, somebody entered in your life and then everything happens so fast, and even the events, the circumstances that you met them are very unusual, very strange, and like people don't meet this way. But then this person sticks with you and changes the trajectory of your life, since it's the 10th house, changes your status. You might get married eventually. This connection, 10th to the 7th house, very often represents marriage, very often represents aligning your life with somebody else, your goals, your values, and moving together from there on. For others, there could be this connection with maybe you are starting a family business with your partner, somebody you are married to, because the 10th house, that's where the eclipse is taking place with Uranus, the ruler of the 7th house. It literally might look like starting a business, working together with your partner. Maybe you're working from home, or you are starting a project together, and it might happen like a eureka moment, very fast. Okay, we have to do this. I'm very excited. This feels very promising, futuristic. Let's work on this. If it's not a marriage partner, this could be a business partner, because it's also the meaning of the 7th house, our business partners. And it feels like you will be aligned towards the job, the career you're supposed to be doing, the field of work you're supposed to be in, overall the goals and visions for the future in your life. you will feel like you are going in the right direction. Even though you might feel lost initially, what is happening, everything is changing so fast. Like I wasn't supposed to open this business, start this idea, start this project. Just very unexpected radical shifts. And again, I do feel there is some togetherness about it. You will be doing it with somebody else, Leos, very likely. Be it a spouse, be it a business partner, or be it like a whole scenario of you changing your status because of your in regards to your love life, in regards to your partnership. So marriage, proposal, things like that. So please don't get scared, don't get worried if things get chaotic. That's normal with Uranus. Remember that eclipses take us where we're supposed to be. They align us with our destiny, and eventually you'll see why things had to happen the way they did during this time. Thank you very much, Leos. Now we are going to Virgo people. Virgos, this eclipse is taking place in the 9th house, in your 9th house, and it involves Uranus, which is the ruler of your 6th house. Some of you guys, you might be traveling for work. This was one scenario because 9th house rules other countries, foreign lands, travel, exploration, exotic things, also our faith, beliefs, religion, and higher education. Some of you might be traveling for either job, because it involves the Uranus, the ruler of your 6th, or traveling for studies, for learning new things. And it does feel like something that might happen out of the blue, like your job, your boss calls you or like emails you and says you need to go to that country to complete this project. And to be honest, being a Virgo, you might be quite excited because you are very hard-working people. You are somebody who is like all for growth, all for development, all for perfection in your job and learning. You are very smart people, genius I would even say, especially Virgo Ascendant and also Virgo Sun people. So this feels like overall growth in your responsibilities in life, in your job, in your routines. It's doing something different, possibly working with foreigners, again traveling for work, relocating for work. It could be that your job might involve elements of, again, foreign things or religion, faith, spirituality in some way, education as well. These things are very connected with this 9th house and 6th house. There could be some improvement in your health. For many of you Virgos, possibly you travel for your health, for your well-being. Maybe you go on vacation to kind of feel better, to rest, to relax. And it might happen quite unexpectedly. What else? I think this is pretty much it. Overall, a lot of energy of something, expansion, of growth, of seeing new people, seeing new environments. Again, traveling is very, very possible. And but for many of you, this travel might involve doing your responsibilities while traveling. Again, doing your job, traveling for your work, being busy while traveling. That's the best way I can explain. And I know it might not apply to everybody here, but this is the overall energy, like the scenario I'm getting the most, the strongest here with you guys. And again, don't get very scared, frustrated, and overwhelmed if things happen too fast. That's the energy of Uranus, unexpected changes, radical changes. Maybe you have to like pack in one day and leave, and this, how is it even possible? I didn't have enough time to make a decision, to prepare myself. Just remember that eclipses take us where we are supposed to be, in the right direction, and they serve our highest good. Eventually you'll see, years down the line, or even quite soon, you'll see why things had to happen the way they did now, in this period, in this eclipse season. So this is all I have for you Virgos. I hope this was helpful. And now we are going to Libra. My beautiful Libra rising or sun people, this eclipse is happening in your 8th house, and the Uranus that is involved in this eclipse is the ruler of your 5th house. This feels to me like changes, big changes in regards to your relationships for many of you, your romantic relationships. There's the sense of deepening for many of you. If you've been dating somebody, if you had somebody you fancy, or you had a crush, or a relationship has just started but you feel like it's not getting more serious, you're not bonding on that very deep level, it might happen. It might happen quite unexpectedly, like out of the blue. Radical shifts, radical changes in your love life, very possible with this connection of the 8th house and 5th house. 8th house is the house of intimacy. Some of you, it's a strange scenario, I know, but some of you, especially if you're single or you just started seeing somebody, events might fall into place very fast. There's this fast progression of a certain relationship, certain connection, and you might get intimate very fast, or you might get very bonded on a powerful emotional level very fast with the 8th house, and feel like you get under each other's skin and you totally know each other, and things get very deep, and you can share your deepest fears, your wounds, your desires, your dreams. Yeah, if you had a partner and things have been going kind of flat and nothing was happening, or it was dragging, there could be this deepening of your bond for many of you. But it might come as a crisis, because the 8th house rules crisis, rules very much tense situations, chaotic situations, and almost like break it or make it. So for some of you, this relationship that you are in might not go through this test, might not pass this test. For others, if this relationship or this connection, romantic partnership, passes this test, then it's just going to get so deep, and it's going to bloom, and it's going to get very very prominent and long lasting in your life, I feel. I'm so sorry, Libras, something strange happened upstairs with my neighbors. It sounded like the roof fell down or something. Very fitting with the 8th house energy, just unexpected breakthrough, change, radical shift. Also, for some of you, if you had struggles with having children, for some of you, I know it's a specific example, but it's a very possible scenario. 5th house, Uranus rules your 5th house, which is children, which is conception, which is falling pregnant. With this eclipse in the 8th house, it might happen unexpectedly, because the 8th house also has this meaning, life and death situations, and conception is one of those, when life comes and well, you know. So there could be pregnancies, very likely, especially for those of you who are kind of it hasn't been happening, it's been difficult, very likely here. And if you haven't been trying, it's also very likely, so be aware if you're not looking towards getting pregnant. Also, if you have children, it might be that your children need help, your attention during this eclipse season and 6 months in the future. With this eclipse in the 8th house, they might need your money, because the 8th house is the house of finances, is the house of debt, of other people's resources, inheritance. And with the Taurus carrying the energy of finances, your children might need your money, for example, for a big expense, they're buying something, or they need help, God forbid, with some difficult situation. Maybe they got in debt and they need you to help them out. So this could also be the scenario that happens. I think this is all I wanted to say. Overall, a very powerful energy. The 8th house is a very deep house, very intense house, and you might also, some of you, receive financial gain from something that you love or someone that you love. It could be your hobby, your side hustle, or it could be a romantic partner here, having the Uranus involved in this eclipse, which is the ruler of your 5th house. You might get financial help from your romantic partner, or from something that you enjoy doing, something you love doing, your hobby, your business, whatever it is. So please don't get scared if things get intense for some time, if you get overwhelmed, if events shift so fast and you don't have enough time to react, to make a certain decision. Please go with the flow. Remember that eclipses take us where we are supposed to be. They align us with our destiny, and eventually you'll see that everything happened for your highest good when you look back to this period. So this is all I have for you, Libras. I wish you a wonderful eclipse. And now we are going to Scorpio people. Scorpios, you've got this eclipse happening in your 7th house of partnerships, marriage, business partnerships, contracts, and one-on-one interactions with people. And Uranus, which is involved in this eclipse, is the ruler of your 4th house, of family, of your roots, of your home and living situation, of your emotional stability. What it looks like to me is some of you might be inviting your partner to your home, or moving in together with your partner, or starting a family with your partner, Scorpio people, or taking your partner to meet your family, inviting them to meet your family, or your partner will invite you to meet their family. There is this connection between your romantic partner or your spouse or your future spouse and your family, the people, your place of origin, the people that you were brought up by, your parents. And again, all of these scenarios, for example, you get to meet the parents of your partner, or you invite them to meet your parents, or you move in together, or and it does feel like something unexpected, something shocking. It's gonna happen quite, you weren't planning this, but it came either way. For example, you had to move out from a place where you were living, like your rent has ended, and your partner offers you to move in with them, to live with them, to cohabit. And it might feel overwhelming, it might feel strange, I'm not ready for this, we are not that close, or something like that, or I don't want to depend on them. But remember that eclipses take us where we're supposed to be. So if there is something related to living situation and partnership, it's supposed to happen for your highest good. Also with this eclipse, I very strongly feel that there is a chance for you to start a family. For many of you, with Uranus ruling your 4th house, being connected to this eclipse in the 7th house, there might be a pregnancy that comes your way. Maybe you fall pregnant, maybe your partner falls pregnant, and you start a family. And you also have to get married if you're not married yet, something like that. Changes in the 7th house, it's something that happens out of the blue, but it affects your life for a really long time afterwards. And again, somehow it's related to those things like family, like stability, like love, partnerships, and marriage for many of you Scorpios. Yeah, is there anything I want to say? No, overall just this feeling of fast changes that I might not be ready for, I might not be prepared for, in regards to my partnerships, my love life, my family life, but they're happening and I have to go with the flow. I have to adjust somehow. Just keep in mind that whatever is happening right now, it's happening for you, not to you, and eventually you'll see why things had to transpire in this way. So this is all I have for you Scorpios. Now we are going to Sagittarius people. Sagittarius, rising or sun sign people, this eclipse is taking place in your 6th house of everyday responsibilities, of your job, of your health, of routines, of your pets if you have any. And Uranus is involved in this eclipse, which is the ruler of your 3rd house. For me, it looks like a very busy time, overall very busy time. It might be that you have to learn something for your job and you need to get some information really fast. Maybe take a course for your job, Sagittarius people. Maybe you need to get some qualification because it's the 3rd house. It's communication, it's learning, it's exploring, it's finding that information. And you'll need to do it fast, or you'll need to kind of learn some skills fast in order to do your job better, in order to be more kind of correct, or be more efficient, or there is a lot of communication overall. The 6th house is ruled by Mercury, the 3rd house is ruled by Mercury, plus the Uranus is there, which is the sign of fast insights, illumination, breakthroughs. There will be a lot of communication in regards to your work, a lot of possibly movement, travel, could be to different cities, not so far to other countries or other lands. 3rd house is more so local travel to around your city or to other cities for your job. Yeah, what else? Again, learning, talking, getting more information in order to improve your job. Maybe for those of you who have been trying to find a good job, maybe you were on search, very likely it's going to come through your environment, through your either friends or siblings or your neighbors or people who surround you, like immediate environment. They might give you hints, or they might give you like links to certain people, to certain organizations, and you might get offers through them or opportunities to get employed. For many of you, if you've been looking for work, for job, try to talk about it, try to share with people around you. For example, you meet your neighbor and they ask you how you doing, how's your life, and you say, well, I've been looking for a job for a few months, nothing has been coming my way. And this person might offer you something great, something they might be out of your comfort zone, but it's very likely to be aligned with where you're supposed to be, with your growth, with your evolution in this lifetime. So wonderful opportunities in regards to your job, also in regards to your health, to your routines in life, and to your pets, if you have any. If you've been looking for some information, if you've been looking for the right people, the right advice, I feel like a lot of information will be coming your way very fast and unexpectedly. And be sure to talk about what it is that you want, what it is that you're struggling with. Because from this 3rd house, Uranus being the ruler of your 3rd house, people will give you the right information, they will give you the right advice, they will support you, they will give you the direction somehow. So I think this is all I have for you, Sagittarius. Please don't be scared if things feel overwhelming. I apologize for my dog scratching at the door. You might feel overwhelmed, you might feel worried, you'll have to make a decision fast, very likely, and you might feel totally lost, and how do I do this, how do I implement this change? Remember that eclipses always take us where we are supposed to be, and don't resist it, go with the flow, take in information that comes your way, because it will align you with your perfect routine, perfect job, perfect environment, and perfect career opportunity, I feel. So this is all I have for you, Sagittarius people. Now we are going to Capricorn. Capricorn, rising or sign people, this eclipse is happening in your 5th house of children, fun, enjoyment, play, the things and people that you love, of your talents, and also your side hustles. And Uranus, the planet that is heavily involved in this eclipse, is the ruler of your 2nd house. So here I'm seeing for many of you this scenario. If you have children, you might have to carry a big expense. You have to pay for something unexpectedly. I'm so sorry, Capricorns, my camera died, but I'm continuing. So this connection between your 5th house and the 2nd house, many of you who have children might have to carry out big expense in regards to your kids. For example, your child, you enroll your child in a good private school or some classes or possibly even university, and you have to pay a certain amount of money for them to be able to study, to be able to get that education, because this is the 2nd house. And with Uranus it might happen quite unexpectedly. You didn't expect them to pass, to be accepted, or you didn't expect them to do something that you have to pay for it. Hopefully it's a positive situation. And I'm just going to give you a life example. My dad is a Capricorn Ascendant person, and I have a younger brother who is 13 now, and they went to Thailand to live there. They just relocated, and my brother was accepted to British school that I actually graduated from 10 more years ago now. Well, 10 years ago. And it's quite an expensive school, and my dad had to pay just literally a week ago for that school, for my brother to be accepted. So this is like a perfect manifestation for him and his Aquarius ascendant of this eclipse. If you don't have kids, I feel like it might be an expense that you have to pay for in regards to something that you love doing. For example, you love art and you need to buy painting supplies, you need to buy I don't know, paint and brushes and all of those things people that paint buy. I'm not very used to art world and whatever it is, or any other kind of hobby you have that requires your finances. You might need to pay a lot. Or some of you might monetize your business, something, your side hustle. You might receive financial help or income, additional income from something that you're doing for the joy of it, because you love it, because it's your hobby and it's finally giving you monetary compensation. It does feel like a hobby connected to financial security finally in your life. Also, I feel for some of you, the 5th house is the house of romantic partners and romance in general. There might be this help, financial help that comes your way from your romantic partner for some of you Capricorns. It could go both ways. You might be helping out your romantic partner financially in some way because they have this huge expense and they need your help for some reason. Or you could get help from your romantic partner. Financial help, very likely, with this Taurus energy as well. And it will happen, all of it might happen quite unexpectedly, very fast. Events might unfold very spontaneously, and you might get confused, you might feel a bit overwhelmed, and I don't have enough time to make a decision, what do I do now? But the situation is asking for my attention. With this Uranus, there could be this anxiety and this feeling of everything is happening too fast, what do I do? Please don't get overwhelmed. Remember that eclipses take us where we are supposed to be. They align us with our destiny, with our path. Don't resist anything, go with the flow. Take all of the opportunities that come your way in this period. Embrace these changes as much as you can, with the most dignity as you can. We all have to do this. We'll all be going through this turbulence and Uranus, chaotic energy of Uranus. So yeah, what else? I think this is all I have for you guys, Capricorns. 5th house and 2nd house connection. Expenses for children or help from partner, from your business, from something that you love doing. And this will be unfolding in the next 6 months to a year in your life. The consequences of this huge, big change, this radical change in regards to either your kids. Some of you might be giving birth, Capricorn rising people. For example, you've been pregnant and this eclipse season comes and you give birth, and kids are expensive. You'll need to pay for something. You'll need to pay for the nursery, like to create the nursery in your home, in your house, or pay for the diapers, pay for nanny or whatnot. So yeah, pregnancy and birth giving is also very likely for Capricorn ascendant people. So yeah, eclipse in the 5th, it's a powerful shift in regards to your kids, love life, and also finances are going to be very linked, very much tied to this lunation for you guys. So I wish you a wonderful eclipse, Capricorns. Now we are going to Aquarius people, Aquarius rising or sun people. This eclipse is happening in your 4th house of home, stability, places of origin, of your mother, of your parents, and emotional stability. And the ruler, the planet that is involved with this eclipse is Uranus, and Uranus is the ruler of your 1st house, of your identity, of your expression of self, of trajectory of your life, basically who you are. Some Aquarius might initiate fast, drastic, spontaneous changes in their home life, in their family. Good manifestations of that could be renovation, total renovation of your home, of your living space. I don't like the way my home looks, I'm gonna change everything. I'm gonna build a new wall inside of my apartment. I'm gonna change the colors. I'm gonna buy a new home for some of you. I'm gonna move to a new home, very likely as well. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna change my place of living. And and this decision might come to you out of the blue. Even if now you're like, no, I'm settled, I'm fine, I'm good where I am. It's with Uranus, things happen like eureka moment, the insight you get, and you realize that you have to go, you have to move, you need to change your living situation, your home environment. Another thing that might happen for you guys is your relationship with your mom might be quite turbulent in this time. Fourth house is the motherly energy. It could be breaking away from your mom, from a connection with your mom, or just going through this tension with your mom and feeling like you need to liberate yourself. You need to put strong boundaries. You need to say your worth. It's almost like with this Uranus, and it's your planet, it's the ruler of your chart. This eclipse will be felt by you very strongly. You might feel like enough is enough. This family is not doing me any good. This motherly figure is making me feel stifled. I cannot be myself around them, for example. I cannot communicate myself and express myself in an authentic way when I'm around this person, around this family member. It might be estranging. Can you say that? Like becoming estranged from somebody in your family, or pushing them away. And you guys, with this eclipse, I feel, try to be as gentle as you can, because you are ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is very strongly involved in this lunation. You might be very spontaneous, you might be very radical, and you might just burn down the bridges or change your life totally and completely, and people will be like, what has just happened to this person? What did they just do? Why did they behave in this way? Why did they act this way? And they might not even get the hint or realize why. There is this erratic energy about you that could come up to the surface, and many of you, I feel, crave liberation right now, crave independence, and I just want to be on my own. I want to feel this freedom. I don't want to... For many of those who have Uranus natally in their fourth house, they are somebody who leaves their country, the place of living, of origins, their mother, their family that they were brought up by. They leave all of that very soon, very early in life. They relocate or they move away, and they don't... It's like, it's just wanting to fly away, wanting to be on my own, wanting to be my own authority, be a solo agent, be independent. I don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes anything to me. That kind of energy could be very much coming up, bubbling inside of you with this eclipse. Might be just like, one day I get up and I'm gone to the other side of the world, to another continent, and I don't want to see my past life anymore, whatever was happening here. So yeah, also with this eclipse in the fourth house, it might be bringing people into your life. Somebody might be entering your home, entering your family, be it a child, be it somebody you start to cohabit with, live with. It might happen quite soon, quite unexpectedly, again with the Uranus energy. But you, I feel, will be the one who will be drawing this energy in, who will be the manifester, who will be the one initiating these changes, very likely. Or you will be the focal point of this change. So yeah, don't get too overwhelmed or worried or stressed because everything is happening too fast. Again, I have to say that eclipses take us where we are supposed to be. They align us with our destiny, and later on down the line, 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll see why things had to happen, transpire in the way they do right now for you guys, Aquarius people. I wish you a wonderful eclipse, and now we are moving to Pisces people. My beautiful Pisces, Sun or Rising people, this eclipse is taking place in your third house of communication, of siblings, of immediate environment, of learning, and short distance travel. And Uranus is heavily involved in this eclipse, and Uranus is the ruler of your 12th house. Very interesting. You guys, I feel some secrets will be coming up to the surface. The third house is our conscious mind, the clarity, thoughts, we think, the conversations we hold with other people, the things we discuss, and they make sense to us, they're clear. But Uranus is coming from your 12th house, the ruler of your 12th house, which is the house of secrets, things that are hidden, things that we are not aware of. They're in the periphery of our life, they're like in the blind spot of our life. Now they will come to your attention, to your conscious mind, and you will just realize something, you will see something. And it's the things that have been hidden from you coming to the surface, and you'll be able to analyze them. With the third house, it's the energy of analyzing. It carries the energy of Gemini, of thinking, of rational logic, of clarity, of learning. Some of you might be learning things that are spiritual. Uranus ruling your 12th house, of spirituality, of faith, of religion, of transcendental things, of also creativity on some level, taboo things, hidden knowledge. You might be studying all of that, Pisces, and it's not unusual for you having a Pisces ascendant. Many of you are astrologers, tarot readers, at least creative people. Well, why am I saying at least? It's very, very common for you to be creative, singers, dancers, painters, just very ethereal, very sensitive, very compassionate, and you yearn for hidden knowledge. Your heart yearns for discovering things that not many people know about, discovering secrets. And this is the time when this is happening big time for you, especially with the Uranus in the mix. And the third house, it could be on a basic level, on a more primitive level, it could be discovering some gossip. 12th house, connected to third as well, gossip about your siblings, gossip about your immediate environment, gossip about money as well, with the Taurus energy here. But overall, some information will come to the surface and you will see things more clearly. You'll be able to rationalize everything, make more better decisions. It could also be a conversation with somebody who is far away from you, Pisces. A conversation that you'll be able to hold with a foreigner, for example, the person that is far away from you. The third house is like coming to the common ground, speaking the same language finally, being able to talk things through. It could also be related to documents. The 12th house is the house of travel, the house of getting away, and the third house is the house of documents, of paperwork. So you could be doing some documents, you could be receiving some document about travel, you could be receiving some document about the completion of something, also the 12th house energy. You could be preparing the documents for immigration for some of you Pisces people, very likely here with this eclipse. But don't be scared and overwhelmed if things happen too fast, too unexpectedly, and you don't you feel like you're lost and just you have to make a really fast decision. Everything it's like a radical shift, radical change. Remember that eclipses take us where we are supposed to be, so don't resist anything, go with the flow, and eventually you'll be happy, because you'll be happy with how things turned out during this time, during this eclipse season, because you ended up where your soul wanted you to be. So yeah, I think this is all I have for you Pisces. I wish you a wonderful eclipse, and we've come to an end of this reading for all 12 signs. Again, it went so fast, just like my first astrology video. I'm sure I didn't say enough of what I wanted to say. I have more insights about this, and it's just sometimes in the moment I forget things, but hopefully it was helpful for all of you guys. And I will see you in my next video, in my next astrological or tarot video. Bye bye, all of the best.